So, there I was, at this swanky restaurant, all geared up for my blind date. "You're gonna have a great time," my friend had assured me. "Just relax, Ethan." But as I waited at the table, my heart wasn't in it. I hadn't signed up for this circus of dating, but then again, it was high time I at least tried to have a normal life. Just as I was contemplating escaping through the kitchen, I heard a voice that sent chills down my spine. It was raspy, tinged with the faintest hint of something vaguely familiar, something that made my stomach twist. "Ethan." I looked up and froze. There she was, Amelia, the woman I'd loved, the woman who killed me in another life, looking as radiant as the day I'd last seen her. "Amelia, what are you doing here?" "I'm your date." "Surprised?" "That's an understatement," I muttered, trying to keep my tone light, but I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. A blind date with Amelia. "So, Ethan, tell me about yourself." "Oh, there's not much to tell, really. Just your average guy making a living." "And relationships? How do you feel about them?" "Depends on the relationship. For instance, how do you feel about dating someone while you're already in a relationship?" "I beg your pardon?" "I mean, isn't Ashton your boyfriend?" "He is, but he doesn't pay attention to me." "And that justifies cheating?" "No, it doesn't, but it's complicated." "Isn't it always?" "I think it's better if we end this here, Amelia." "Wait, Ethan, No, Amelia, you should go back to Ashton, or maybe find someone else. Someone who actually deserves you." With that, I walked out of the restaurant, leaving her behind. And as I walked, my heart pounded with a new resolution. I would take down Ashton, not just for me, but for Amelia as well. "Ethan?" Claire's voice resonated with an unforeseen gravitas as I picked up the phone. "Mom, what's up?" "We need to talk about your position in the Sullivan Empire." "You know I'm just an investor, right? Ashton is the one gearing up to take over." "I'm aware, but I've been keeping tabs on you, Ethan. I see potential, resilience, qualities that this empire needs." "What do you mean?" "Ethan, I've decided to transfer a portion of my shares in the company to you." "Ashton?" "Ashton had his chance. It's time we explore other options. The survival of our investments, our legacy, depends on it." Dumbstruck, I scrambled to process the gravity of her words. This was a game changer. "Thank you, Mom. I'll do my best." "I believe in you, Ethan. Make us proud." With that, the call ended. The revelation hit me like a bolt of lightning. I wasn't merely an investor anymore. I was a substantial shareholder in the Sullivan Empire, with enough clout to challenge Ashton. The prospect was daunting, yet exhilarating. I could almost see the storm brewing, ready to sweep Ashton off his feet. He had no inkling of what was coming his way. It was time for a change, and I was at the helm of it. "Man, have you heard the latest stock report?" Brad, now my best friend and confidant, called me up one morning, his voice teetering between excitement and disbelief. "Why, what happened?" I asked, attempting to hide the amusement in my voice. By now, my carefully calculated moves were starting to yield results. "Sullivan Empire shares! They're soaring, Ethan! It's like someone just pumped a whole lot of life into that sinking ship." "That's interesting." "You don't understand, Ethan! This is massive! Whoever is behind this, they've practically taken over the Empire. All the major decisions now, they're being made by this unknown entity." With a smirk, I leaned back in my chair, letting the silence linger between us. The pieces of the puzzle were finally falling into place. But isn't Ashton? Ashton had his shot, man, and he blew it. Spectacularly, I might add. But Ethan, that would mean you? Right in the bullseye, old friend. I'm now the new power player of the Sullivan Empire. You're incredible, Ethan! You did it! You really did it! Still a long way to go, Brad, but the ship's course has been corrected. And Ashton, he's gonna get a taste of his own medicine. I'm with you all the way, Ethan. Ashton won't know what hit him. I ended the call, a newfound determination stirring within me. My past life as Mason, a cog in the wheel of the Sullivan Empire, now seemed like a distant memory. Claire and I, as substantial shareholders, had taken the reins, and with my strategic planning, the Sullivan Empire was finally seeing a resurgence. It felt good, not just the power and wealth, but the vindication. I'd returned as a powerful CEO, the empire almost within my grasp. The once dismissive glances in the boardroom were now replaced by looks of respect, And Ashton, his unease was palpable, his position threatened. The prodigal son was finally home, and the reckoning was only just beginning. Listen, Ashton, I understand there's been some misunderstandings lately. Is that what you call it, Ethan? I've been hearing quite a lot about you lately. Really? I'm flattered. Sarcasm doesn't suit you, Ethan. This isn't a game. This is business. You've been disrupting the chain of command. I disagree, Ashton. I think I've been improving things. Don't you find it a little more exciting now? Exciting isn't what I'd call it. You're turning the company upside down. And for what? To prove a point? No, Ashton. I'm not here to prove a point. I'm here to make a difference. A difference you've been unable to make all these years. The line went silent for a moment, air thick with tension. Watch your tone, Ethan. This isn't some petty squabble. You're playing with fire. And you've been sitting on a powder keg. You've been comfortable for too long, Ashton. Maybe it's time someone stirred the pot. Is that a threat? No, Ashton. It's a promise. See, while you've been sitting on your ivory tower, I've been doing what's needed. And the funny thing is, your loyal staff, they seem to prefer my leadership. You're a snake, Ethan. But remember, you're playing in my territory. No, Ashton. I believe it's your relatives who are playing in my territory now. The ones who thought they could simply discard me. Funny how things turn out, isn't it? The silence that followed was almost deafening, but the satisfaction I felt was immeasurable. Ashton and his clan, they were mere puppets now, dancing to my tune. They had thrown me out, and now I was their boss. The hunter had become the hunted. Ashton's power was waning, and mine was just starting to rise. Listen, Ashton, there's something else you should know. Really? More tricks up your sleeve? No tricks, Ashton. Just the truth. And trust me, the truth can be far more dangerous. Get to the point, Ethan. I know about the Ethan Project. What are you talking about? Oh, you know very well what I mean. The little experiment you thought you could keep hidden? Did you really think I wouldn't find out? Ashton was silent, and I could almost feel the wheels turning in his mind. You're lying. Am I? Would you like to take that chance, Ashton? Because I'm more than willing to play this game. Remember, Ashton, every action has consequences, and it seems like it's time for you to face yours. With that, I hung up, leaving Ashton with his thoughts. The truth was out. The game had changed, and now it was my turn to lead. The phone buzzed again, this time with Brad's caller ID flashing. I answered on the first ring. Brad, we need to talk. Well, good evening to you too, Ethan. Something tells me Ashton's conversation didn't go too well. You could say that. I told you, didn't I? Snake can't change his scales. Enough with your proverbs, Brad. We need to plan our next moves. Right. Sullivan Empire. I've been doing some digging. There's a board meeting in 2 weeks. That's our chance. Then that's when we'll strike. We're playing with fire here, Ethan, Brad warned. If this goes sideways, it won't. We have to be smart about this, Brad. Play our cards right. Brad sighed on the other end of the line. All right, I trust you. A hefty sigh spilled out of me as I settled into my plush office chair. Ashton's turned into a slippery eel, Brad. I can't seem to get the upper hand. That's the thing about eels. Slippery they might be, but they're still confined to their ponds. Ashton's pond seems to be expanding by the minute. If we don't act now, we will. You know, I've been looking into the operations of the Sullivan Empire. A lot of deals, a lot of contracts, but there are a lot of weaknesses too. Weaknesses? Yeah. You see, Ashton's been playing fast and loose with the company finances. There's a particular deal with a tech firm, suspiciously overvalued. Which one? Hawkeye Tech. Ashton's been shoving funds their way for a project that's still theoretical at best. And that's our chance. We expose the deal, Ashton's credibility is shot. The board will have no choice but to reconsider their loyalties. 100%. But Ethan, this is risky. If Ashton even sniffs that we're onto him, I know, but it's a risk we have to take. Ashton's greed is his weakness, and it's about time we exploited it. The conversation extended into the night, with Brad and me brainstorming strategies and countermeasures, hypothetical situations and potential challenges. As the minutes rolled into hours, a concrete plan started to take shape. A risky plan, yes, but a plan nonetheless. I'd always known that this battle would be uphill, but tonight, it seemed like I'd found my footing. For the first time since my return, I felt in control. I leaned back in my chair, my mind whirling with the upcoming events. One thing was clear. Ashton had messed with the wrong man, and now it was time to show him what it meant to cross paths with me. As the city skyline basked in the glow of the moon, I couldn't help but smile. The board meeting was going to be a game changer, and Ashton wouldn't know what hit him. The night was heavy with anticipation, the impending clash echoing in the silence. But as I closed my eyes, a single thought overwhelmed the rest. Ashton Sullivan, your downfall is coming.